Hello, my friends, and thank you so much for signing up for our Spanish tapas paella cooking class. This video is for you to learn how to season your paella pan. You will all be receiving a paella pan along with a bunch of other goodies in a pack coming in the next couple of days. And this is what your paella pan is going to look like. So this is really a virgin paella pan. So paella, as you guys know, is a Spanish dish that is very, very popular, and the foundation of the dish is rice, and then mostly you do seafood and all kinds of seasonings, which we will do to perfection later on this week. But this is a standard paella pan. This size, I think it's a 10-inch, is designed for 4 people. So each paella pan that you get, the bigger you get, it will be for more people or less people. And the depth of the pan is usually about 2 to 2.5 inches. And that kind of is standard no matter what size paella pan you have. So, and I don't know if you can see here, there's little dimples in your paella pan. And those little dimples, you'll see later, will help even out the cooking of your paella, as well as help the crispy, crunchy bottom, which is delicious when you eat your paella. So this is a carbon steel pan. And if you go to Smart and Final or some of those stores, all of those little cheapy pans that you see are carbon steel pans. And they can be seasoned, just like we're gonna season this, the exact same way with the exact same results. So no need to go and buy your fancy pans if you want to spend some time and take care of your pan that you're seasoning. And by the way, we also have, oh shoot, I have one right here. We also have cast iron pans that you also season. Mine is kind of a little gooey, but cast iron pans can also be seasoned the exact way. Cast iron pans they heat slower and they cool slower and they go to a much higher heat, where carbon steel pans, like your paella pan, heat faster and you really kind of cook on a little bit of a lower heat than, so they have 2 different personalities, but they are seasoned the same way. So, and by the way, let me just describe seasoning a pan to you. So seasoning a pan is designing to, you're actually doing a scientific thing here. It is, it's polymerization. I'm saying that wrong, but it's polymerization, where what you're doing is with the oil and with the heat, you're creating a scientific equation that will help the oil bond with the pan. And as you do more and more layers, the pan will become non-stick, I guess is the best way to do it. It's just going to be easy to work with. It's going to be dark. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. So I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm not a science teacher, but the polymerization is what really gets you get this pan. So what you first do is you scrub the pan, which I'm actually going to do right now because I forgot to do that. So I'm going to turn you off, but you want to scrub the pan with not salt and pepper, with soapy water. This is the only time you're going to use soapy water on this. Scrub it off, because what this pan comes with, because it is so easy to rust, it comes with a coating on it already. So you want to scrub the top, the bottom, all the way around. Scrub, 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 and dry it off completely, and join me right back here. Okay, so I've washed my pan. I'm drying it thoroughly, so that just takes the coating off that came from the factory so it doesn't rust. So now to season the pan, you want to find yourself an oil. Now the popular oil right now is flaxseed oil to season the pan. The reason is flaxseed oil has a low smoking rate, so you can get the oil to a temperature that's going to actually do that science experiment. So it'll be less time to cook. I'm actually just going to use, oh my gosh, my little top is on. I'm just going to use a little olive oil. Now you're going to put the oil all over, and then you're going to just get a piece of paper towel, and you're going to rub it in really well. And you can see I'm rubbing it in, but I want to rub it in so well that it's just hardly a coat. I don't know if you have any pans that get really sticky, but if you don't do a really light coat, in fact, I'm gonna do this light coat and then I'm gonna get another dry paper towel and rub it again because it just needs to be a very fine coat for your pan. So with this seasoning, it's also a multi-layer thing. So we're gonna do this a number of times. I think I'm just gonna do it 3 times with you, but you can do it like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. So here's this pan. I'm putting it on the stovetop. I'll bring you to my stovetop. Ooh, right here. Turning the burner on. Come on, burner. Sometimes I have to get the other one. Hold on, it's gonna flame up in 1 sec. Come on, baby. Ice. I'm gonna start a fire in here. Hello, my friends. It's been an hour and you cannot rush this, but this is now what my paella pan looks like. That's just from the flame and it's nice and cool. Don't rush it. You can't rush science because we are actually creating, what did I tell you? I'm gonna, we're polymerizing the pan. It's also called crossed band. So if you can imagine, we're just making it strong and we're making it non-stick. So I'm taking my oil again, pouring it onto the pan. I'm taking my oily cloth again and oiling it all the way around, getting it on every little bit that you can, except of course the handles. By the way, you can do this in the oven. You'd bring the heat to like 500 degrees and that's all well and good. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything different, but I don't think there is. But the thing is, we're doing this again and again and again. So I'm gonna do this with you 3 times, but I'd like you to continue to do it like 3 times is enough, but if you did it 4 or 5 times, it'd be great. Okay, so I'm now taking my dry paper towel, because you can see it's kind of oily and shiny. And what's gonna happen here is you're gonna create, if you don't wipe this off and you try to rush it or you try to fix science and put it in the freezer or something, you're gonna mess up the science stuff, which I can't tell you the details because that's not my job. But you want to wipe as much off as you can because you're doing science. I don't know. By the way, I'm interrupting myself right now because see over my shoulder, I have been making sangria for you while I've been waiting for the pan to dry. So keeping it all real here now. So now we're gonna go back on the stovetop. Let me put my thing up there. We're gonna turn it on. Hopefully it'll stop clicking. And as you can see, hopefully you get this. Gosh, why is that clicking? Anyway, I'm just gonna bring it to smoking point just for a second with you. And remember, once again, the process is, yep, you can see it smoking just a little bit. Olive oil has a very low smoking point. Your corn oils and your vegetable oils have a higher smoking point. But once again, remember I told you flaxseed oil is a low smoking point, and so you want to do a low smoking point for this because you're doing the cross banding and making the science work. So this is the second time we're doing this. I'm gonna heat it on the stovetop for 10 minutes. Then we're gonna turn it off and we're gonna let it cool completely, which will be an hour. So I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. We're back for one more round of seasoning your now cooled paella pan. You can see my pan is getting darker. There's a nice crust on there. I'm gonna pour in some more oil. I'm using olive oil. You can use any kind of oil that you would like. What else can I tell you? So when we are actually polymerizing this pan and we're making a nonstick pan. So when you do this with any of the carbon steel pans that you see that are like El Cheapo cheap, they'll last you a lifetime. They'll last you a lifetime. After this last one goes around, I'm just going to give you a couple of tips on how you can keep your seasoned pans seasoned. So right now, I'm getting myself a piece of paper towel. By the way, I finished making the sangria, and it's delicious. So I'm sure you're gonna love it. So I'm just wiping the oil into this pan. You can see it's turning a whole different color. Next time around, I'm gonna bring you one of your pans over here to see what I'm putting it on the stovetop again. Turning the burner on. It's clicking as usual, but I'm gonna let this go. In no time flat, it's gonna hit the smoking point, which is good. And once again, you want to turn on the fan in your kitchen or open some windows so that you don't breathe this in, because it's not gonna be the healthiest thing for you. But you can see coming to the smoking point. So I'm leaving it at the smoking point on my stovetop for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna let it cool until it's done. So y'all, maybe I might talk to you and maybe I'll just wrap up at the end, but this is 3 times we're doing this. You could do it, that's the minimum you should do it. You could do it 6 times, you could do it 11 times, and every time you use your pan, you can season again and polymerize it again and keep it in good shape so it's non-stick and lovely to work with. So this is gonna go on for 10 minutes. I'm gonna let it cool for an hour, and I'll be back to finalize this video. Bye-bye. Hello, people. My pan is cooled off. The carbon steel has polymerized with the oil. This is 3 coats. You can see what it looks like, and on the bottom, this is what the pan started out looking like. This is what the pan looks like now. As you do more and more layers, which I suggest you do, and as you know, it took quite a bit of time. Like this probably took us 4 hours, but you can multitask, you can do some prep, you can do whatever, but keep on seasoning the pan as many times as you want. Okay, so now my next thing is, you can test your pan by putting it on stovetop, adding some moisture, possibly a little water, and chopping up some onions and cooking the onions and let them burn, and then see if you can wash the pan and that nothing sticks, and that will be a good test. Something else that I wanted to let you know just for maintaining your pan is, hold on one sec. When you clean your pan, you generally should not use soap and water. You just use water and use, this is called, oh my God, what is this called? It's like a chain thing. Anyway, you can hear that.
Steel wool?
It's not steel wool. It's called, anyway, what is it called? It's a, oh my God, it is such a senior moment. But what you don't want is to create carbons on here that stick. And then, so you want to remove the carbons with the chain, get it all clean. You can use water. I wouldn't use soap. Put it back on the stove top, dry it off, season it again, and remember to wipe off the seasoning, and then heat it for 10 minutes, let it cool. And that will make your pan last forever. And I will see you in class. Bye-bye.